If you train a lot, sit a lot, or your hips feel very tight, this is the practice you were looking for. By the end of 15 minutes, you're going to feel your hips being a lot looser, lighter, and longer. So as you know, yin works in your connective tissues, where the yang class, the more powerful classes are not going to reach. So stay with me and let's enjoy this yin class. Namaste, yogis and yoginis, and welcome once again to Yoga with Vig. Are you ready for this amazing treat for the hips? Let's get it started. So we're going to go back on our backs and just position yourself. We're going to bend. I'm going to show you first the left knee. So we're going to start first with the left so you can see me. Bring the sole of the left foot towards the inner thigh. Something very simple. As simple as that. Just relax your shoulders on the ground, shoulder blades. And then we're doing this fallen tree. So imagine when we do the tree pose standing. This is way easier. We're just going to do a fallen tree. So the sole of the foot goes towards the knee, a bit higher in the inner thigh, and just relax the hip. Nothing overcomplicated. But you know what happens in yin. In yin, we just find the pose, yield to it, and let the time pass by. And you might think, yeah, what am I going to gain being here for a couple of minutes? Well, the body's going to relax. Your fascia is going to get more flexible, more supple, and your joints are going to get all these beautiful different fluids and hydration that you so much need. Because after more or less 90 seconds, there is a little change in the body that starts bringing all that beautiful synovial fluid, the hyaluronic acid that we pay so much for in the pharmacy. That is produced naturally by your body, so take advantage of your own pharmacy and just relax. Traditionally, we hold the poses around at least 90 seconds, could be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on the pose. Yeah, I bet you could be in this pose for a long time. This is an easy one. But just relax, breathe on the hip. If your hips are really tight, this is already a challenge. So if you also need to put a little cushion, a little propping device, whatever it is, a blanket, something rolls under the knee, feel free to do so. But if it feels already like, oh, this is actually good, I can feel my hip working, enjoy it. And then from here, we're going to bend the right knee, bring the knee, the leg as it is towards the knee. So the left ankle is going over the right knee. And this might be already plenty. This might be for you. For a lot of people, this is already a lot. Remember to flex the foot so we protect the left knee. If this is okay for you to stay here, maybe you want to push a little bit the hip outwards, if that feels good. Or then just release and leave it there. If this feels already quite comfy, you can also put a block or two, if you have any, or a big encyclopedia, whatever works. Put it under the foot, and then we are bringing the hip a little bit higher, and then we can again open a bit more. Just push away. And if this feels already good, then you might already grab the back of the thigh, or maybe the shin, whatever you feel that you can sustain the pose for a few minutes. So if it's too strong, don't do it. Just chill in another pose. Remember, you always have to do about 30-40% of a pose. So if this is your 100%, go halfway. So whatever works. I'm going to use this one. I've got quite flexible hips. That's what yoga does. But then I'm also pushing with my left elbow a little bit the left hip, trying to open it. You don't have to do that. Just do it in a way that feels that there's a little bit of tension, but it's not uncomfortable. It feels good, and you can sustain it for quite some time. And just breathe. Let your body yield to time, to the feeling, to the mild discomfort, because this is not about being in pain. You might feel a slight discomfort, like, yeah, I would not fall asleep in this pose, but it's okay. And then slowly your body's doing the work. All those beautiful fluids are doing the job they have to do, going to the right places. The fascia is getting in motion, kind of motion. It's getting more flexible. And I must say, for a lot of people, yin is quite uncomfortable. I'm talking out of own experience. I used to not enjoy yin at the beginning at all. I was running away from yin because you have to stay in a pose for a while. And that wasn't me. Or maybe that's not you. And you're thinking, what am I doing here? But I promise you, once you get the hang of yin, it is a pleasure. And you can alternate. You can do power, you can do yin, whatever it is. We're going to release. We're going to do the other side. So release our foot. Let's remove this to the side. I didn't really use them. And we're going to do voluntary on the other side. So now with the right leg, we're going to put the right sole of the foot in the inner thigh. Drop the leg towards the right, like a tree on the ground. So make that shape. Bring the sole as high as it feels good and just relax. Breathe on the outside of the hip, or this beautiful side of the right hip. Just breathe there. Just relax. Nothing to do, no agenda. Just imagine you're in a beautiful place, whatever that is for you, whether it's a beach, the countryside, a forest, a beautiful space that you love to go back to. Maybe you are there. So you don't even have to imagine, you are it. And just breathe. Every time you inhale, bring that oxygen to that side that you might feel a tiny bit of tension. That place you want to relax. Make your body aware. You're taking care of it. And don't be afraid to let the time pass. This is not a waste of time. You're gaining time for yourself and for your well-being, for your own health, creating the right chemicals. When you're ready, we're going to bend the left knee, bring the right ankle over the left knee. And again, if you want to put a block under your foot, if you want to leave it right down on the mat, if you want to grab maybe the back of the thigh or the shin or whatever you feel that is good. And maybe here I'm going to just grab the back of the thigh because I just fancy doing that. No agenda again. And I'm using my elbow to push slightly the knee away from me, opening the hip a little bit more and letting the body do the work. Tuck the chin slightly so you're not cranking the neck. Take deep inhales and take long exhales. One thing that also helps mentally sometimes is to count my breath. So sometimes you just count and you say, okay, I'm going to count 5 in and 10 out, 4 and 8. I try to double the exhale so it really goes slow. Just use your own trick, or if you want to use the time to revise your agenda for tomorrow, not advisable, because I would like you to be focused on what you're doing right now. So try to just revise your body. What is it that you're feeling? imagine things melting in the part of the thigh that you're working at the moment. Even though you think it's not working, it is working. It's working for you. Reclining pigeon. Beautiful pose. Amazing for the hips. Okay, we're going to release. Make yourself a little ball. Grab your knees and rock and roll yourself slowly to a seated position. And in the sitting position, we're going to do diamond. So we know butterfly. Butterfly is bringing the soles of the feet towards the pubic bone. We're going to put them away from the pubic bone, again, far from the groin. So we do a little bit of a diamond pose. So if I show you from the front, this is our beautiful diamond, a valuable diamonds forever. So this is kind of what it's going to look like. So I'm going to be on the side. So I've got a little bit of padding under my feet. And then from here, we just come up. So make your back straight, elongate your spine. Take a big inhale. And if you think this is already enough, maybe sometimes you want to put some padding, blocking, whatever it is, just to feel your legs just somehow supported, maybe like this, whatever works. Or maybe just leave them on the side. And if you can, grab your feet, otherwise grab your shins, and slowly try to bring the spine down, but not hunching, just keeping the spine straight, elongating. You might not feel this a lot, so just a little bit. Feel the spine really long, no hunching. Maybe every time you exhale, you want to go a tiny little degree lower. Nothing too strenuous. Remember, 30-40% maximum. You can close your eyes and just feel that spine really elongating, growing, and your hips, yummy hips, getting that beautiful stretch that they need so badly. You're going forward and lowering your body. It's very uncomfortable. Just stay upright. Be always very gentle. Don't do very intense moves. Yin is not about intensity. It's about extensity. I know it doesn't exist, that word. But basically take things easy and extend everything. Sometimes there's a moment that you think, oh my God, I can go a lot lower, I can yield even more. Take advantage of that. But only if it feels natural, if it feels great, if it feels like this is it. Slowly come up. And now we're going to do, let's pass quickly through a downward dog, just very mildly, just maybe pedal the feet. And then from here, we're going to bring the right leg between both hands. Land the left knee on the ground and tuck the toes. Let's heel toe a little bit the right foot towards the right side of the mat. And then from here, and now I'm going to ask you to possibly get a prop, where there is maybe a bolster, maybe 2 blocks, maybe all of them together. You might just want to make a tower, whatever it is that feels good for you. I'm going to use 2 blocks. And this is dragon pose. You might be here in dragon pose and you might think this is already plenty and you don't need any more because it's already too much. If this is your dragon, stay in that dragon, because you're opening a lot of the hip flexor, and then this leg can stay as it is, vertical, or you can wing the dragon, so you can slightly go into the outside of the foot and maybe open the leg a little bit towards the right only if it feels good. If it doesn't feel good, just stay with the sole of the foot on the ground. And if it feels like, okay, I can go a little bit further, maybe you can put the elbows on the ground. Maybe if you want, you can also put maybe the head on the ground. But if this is too much, just stay wherever it feels your pose. No agenda, as I said. And yield there, because we're going to stay here for a few minutes. I don't have a timer, so I'm playing by ear. So if we do one side 3.5 minutes, on the other side 4 or 3:45. Sorry, blame it on me. I might get lost sometimes. I try to be as even as possible by my own internal clock. But the important thing is you find that moment of a pose, that special little place that feels just wonderful. And if you feel that you've gone too far, just retract a little bit. Don't be afraid. Don't let your ego tell you where you have to be. And again, you're not competing. You're not comparing. You don't want to hurt yourself. You want to heal yourself. So healing requires love and respect. Ahimsa, as we say in yoga, non-violence, which means not violence, not only towards the other people, but especially towards yourself. Do not hurt yourself, physically and mentally. Don't be too harsh, because very often we are a lot harsher with ourselves than we would be with somebody else. We apply degrees of cruelty with ourselves that we'd never dare doing with the ones we love. So show that devotional love for yourself. Again, slowly come up. Just put aside whatever you had around, because we have a beautiful treat now. One of my favorite poses in the world. Sleeping swan, or as you normally know it, pigeon. So we're going to heel toe the foot all the way to the left. So heel toe. And remember, pigeon doesn't have to be parallel to the top of a mat. That is something that only the cruel yoga teachers can teach you. So do not ever pay attention to that. Knees on the ground as we were in dragon. So the sole of the foot is up. And then from here, it can be more like a number 1 or a number 7. So from here, just stay upright. And then we're going down on the extent that we feel also good. You can, again, use a bolster, maybe just to lean on and sleep in there. That's why it's a sleeping swan. Or you can go, again, using blocks. Whatever it is that you want to use as a prop. And if you feel like you can go all the way down, and that's my favorite pose. So I'm going to go all the way down because I love it, but it doesn't mean you have to go all the way down. And you might have heard me before of actually falling asleep in this. So just relax. And you might be thinking, there's no way I'm going to fall asleep in this. Maybe not today, maybe not next week. But you can say never. Maybe in a couple of months you actually fall asleep in this pose. Create a stretch for the outside part of the hip, for the glutes. Oh, if you have sciatica, this is an absolute blessing. So make the most of this and yield. And if you need a prop underneath the hip, please always feel free. I'll show you when we got to the other part. But if you need any prop, because you're not even touching the floor, and I see it a lot with my students that don't have, obviously, the flexibility in the hips. So put, like, for instance, one of these under the hip around here, and this will help you being just in the right position, so you don't go towards the side, you don't wobble, you don't do anything straight. I'll show you clearly on the other side so you can see it. So if you need to rectify, in the meantime, just enjoy. And breathe. And if you feel that tiny piece of discomfort, normally it will be in the right hip now. Breathe in and take that air to that place that might be bothering you a little bit. And exhale slowly, releasing and letting go maybe the discomfort, a little bit of pain. And slowly come up. Let's go. Both hands on the ground, tuck the toes. Let's go. Passing by a very soft dog, and then we're going to bring the left leg between the hands, land the right knee, and tuck the toes. And let's heel toe this time the left foot towards the left part of the mat. This is our dragon. We can do the winged dragon, as I mentioned before, on the side, and then opening the hip. That could be a winged dragon, not necessary. And then again, you can use the blocks, you can use the bolster, whatever it is, to find your dragon. And then I'm going to do the standard dragon this time so you can see me. And then you can either put the hands and stay upright if that's your dragon. You can put the elbows, or you can go all the way down if that's what your flexibility is asking for. But I suspect if you're coming here for the tight hips, you might not be all the way down. Because otherwise, if you have tight hips, that is a very intense one. So remember, 30-40%. Don't push yourself too much. The idea is not pushing yourself. The idea is not hurting yourself. The idea is telling the body, hey, we need some healing here. Come to the rescue. And then the body will do the rest. Remember, you're evoking, just calling those tissues that you normally would not call in an intense practice. You'll be using muscles, but you will not be using so much all those connective tissues that you're involving here in yin. Muscles are yang tissues. Fascia are yin tissues. So this is what you're calling for. And this hip flexor, the one we're working right now on the right, it can be an absolute killer. I was trying to find a milder word, but for most people, the hip flexor, it is the cause of so many issues, back problems, and it tends to be very tense and very lax at the same time because we spend a lot of time sitting and we don't give it enough strength. So we don't have the right tension and the right flexion, and that gives us a lot of back issues, especially lower back. So it's important that we work both the strength and the flexibility. There's a lot of classes. You can find psoas, and you can see a lot of different videos that I have for the psoas, for strengthening and for flexibility too. Okay, slowly come up. Remove whatever you have if you don't need it anymore, and let's heel toe the left foot towards the right. And let's go to our sleeping swan. So again, an inverted one, because a 7 might be too hard. And again, let me show you. So if you think, you know, you're not touching at all with the hip and it's not going all the way down, like in my case, I'm quite flexible in the hips, so my hip touches, but otherwise you can put something, a cushion, a towel, a blanket, anything, just put it underneath your hip and that will prop you up and it will allow you not to go towards one side or towards the other side. So you'll keep a straight body. And if this is your pose, just stay here. That's more than enough. You can also go down and get yourself propped up with the bolster, maybe the bolster and also the blocks. Or if you enjoy, like I do, all the way down, welcome to find your pose. Now I'm going to remove this because I don't really need it. But if you do, please, please, please use it. Using props doesn't make you a worse yogi, actually makes you a better yogi. Because that means that you know your limitations, you know what your body wants, you know what your body does not need, and you're wise enough to actually use it. I love props. I use them a lot. I like when people use them wisely and they know, no, this is what I exactly need right now. It makes you feel a lot more confident and more respectful for your body too. Yield. And please send me a note the first day you fall asleep doing pigeon or sleeping swan, as we call it in yin. Send me a note. Leave a comment. Send me an email, whatever it is, like, Vic, I fell asleep doing pigeon. You were right. There is a moment in life you can actually fall asleep. I'd love to know. And please, if you know of somebody who suffers from sciatica, who's got really tense glutes, you can also share this class. Or tell them about pigeon, about sleeping swan. It is such a beautiful pose. And of course, if you know somebody who's accumulating too much in the hips, then they definitely need this yin class. And if that's you, come to it once a week maybe, whenever you need it, whenever you feel it's a right moment. Okay, slowly come up. Bring the right leg to the front. And let's do Firelog. And if Firelog is very complicated, let's do Sukhasana. Firelog, basically, you bring the left foot towards the crease of the leg, and then you'll bring also this one also over here. If this is too complicated, even for me it's complicated, we're just going to do, just bring it wherever it sits. If it sits in the crease, beautiful. If it sits just like a Sukhasana, a normal cross leg, just stay like that. But if you can put it a little bit higher, just a little bit higher, just to have a little bit of more opening the hips, that will be great. But do whatever feels good in your body. Again, don't push it too much. I'm going to do this Firelog for me. So it is, yes, a little bit higher than Sukhasana, that normal sit, cross-legged sit. And then from here, again, I'm just going to straighten the spine, make yourself super tall. And then from here, with the exhale, just go slightly down. And then again, you can use all your props. And then prop yourself here, or whatever it is. And if you need to bring all the artillery, and then prop up, and maybe just make yourself a little tall, breach, whatever it is that we like. That's also a good idea. And if you want to lean on it and give yourself a little bit of a rest, but being here is already a lot for the hips. We're not going to stay here for a long time. This is more transitional pose. We're already going through a lot. And probably you're thinking, yeah, I've never done this in this way for so long. If you're not a yin person, definitely this is new for you. Okay, let's go up. And let's do beautiful shoelace. Shoelace. How do we go into shoelace? We're going to go on our knees. And then we're going to bring the right knee over the left knee. So knee against knee. This is how we start. So we separate the feet. So one foot is on one side of the mat, the other one is on the other side. You think, where am I going to go from this? Put both knees really close together. And then I would advise you to bring cushions, blocks, anything. Because sitting probably on the ground is going to be quite difficult. So I like to prop myself a little bit. And then from here, we're just going to just grab the feet. And that's it. Isn't this a beautiful pose? This is already a lot of internal rotation for you, buddy, as you can feel. So keep it here. A lot happening with the hips going inwards. You can grab your feet, you can give yourself a little massage if that feels good. And if it feels absolutely fantastic, you can slowly, gradually go down and maybe lean. But you know what? I'm going to stay here because I really like it here. So up to you if you want to go down. For me, this is beautiful already. It feels great. Let me just try to remove this. That also feels great. So I'm going to stay here and breathe. What's your pose? Which one do you like? Okay, just find whatever is good for you. Close your eyes, relax your shoulders. If you're not grabbing your feet because you're going forward and then you're putting your hands in front of you, just chill, chest over the knees. In a pose that you find is good for you, and just stay and breathe. I like to imagine all these fluids running around, the fascia getting elongated. I like to imagine colors. Maybe it's blue and it's getting extended. Don't know if you remember this, we call it blended blue, this like very viscose kind of thing that we had as kids. I still see it around with nowadays kids. I see it in the shops. That was really soft. Sometimes I imagine the fascia like that, very blubbery and getting softer and softer. I remember that used to get harder and harder with air, and the more you touched it. But I liked it at the beginning when it was really soft. So that's the way I want you to feel your fascia. Now we're going to turn to the other side and we're going to do a bit of break dancing. So we're going to start turning, we're looking opposite us, we're going to turn towards the left. Put the hands on the ground, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. And now, ta-da, like magic. We have the left side, the left leg on top. Ta-da! How did it happen? Oh, it's a mystery. Anyway, now you're with both legs again crossed, but the other leg is on top. If you were using cushion, you can go back to the cushion. If you're using a block, whatever it was, you can still keep doing your foot massage if that feels good. Or if you want to go forward, keep going forward. Again, internal rotation. Now you'll feel a little bit more tension maybe on the left. Before it was on the right. whatever it is, make yourself long. And if it feels good, just lean forward and work a little bit more on those hips, whatever feels good. You want to use your hands to prop yourself in front. That's also an option. And those hips are feeling buttery, soft, long, and light. You want to go walk like a ballerina, and you're going to sleep like a baby. Slowly bring yourself up. Dismantle the pose of bringing both legs together in front of you. And let's do a little bit of a windshield wiper. So both legs to the right, knees pointing right, and knees pointing left. Windshield wiper. Moving those hips that were for a little while in the same pose. Oh, this feels so good. This feels so great. And guess what? We're just getting closer to the end. So, go on your back. And let's cross again the legs. So right over left. Then bend the feet. And let's go towards the left side. So bring both legs to the right, to the left, and look right on a twist. And then here, we're obviously engaging the beautiful spinal twist, and also keeping that internal rotation we're doing in shoelace. Remember to glue the right shoulder towards the ground. Look right. You must say, I always look right. You do. You always look amazing. From here, bring both legs to the other side. Now to the right, but we're going to please change the crossing of the legs. So now the left goes over the right. And now the legs come to the right. And we're looking left and try to glue. Oh, cluck, cluck. I love when my spine clicks and clucks. Keep the left shoulder on the ground and bring the legs towards the right. Remember, we had the left leg over, and feel that torsion also of the spine, as well as the internal rotation of the hip that we've been keeping since shoelace. Slowly come up. Release. Grab the outside of the feet, or maybe the back of your thighs, or your calves, or the big toes, and bring the hips down. The knees are going towards the ground, outside of the chest. Bring them down as much as you can. If you want to rock yourself a little bit, try to extend the spine on the ground, bringing the tailbone towards the ground. Moving slightly the legs to the sides. If you want to extend one leg and the other leg, entirely up to you. If you want to apply the happy baby, or this is called stirrup in yin class. I still like happy baby more. It just reminds me more of a happy baby. And then from here, bring both legs together, give yourself a big hug. And Savasana, that moment you're waiting for. But you had a lot of moments of rest in here, so just enjoy this very last corpse pose. Relax the feet, relax the arms. Let the shoulders drop on the ground, palms looking up towards the sky. Tuck the chin slightly so we have a long neck. Relax the belly, Relax the jaw, relax the forehead, relax the thighs, the knees, the calves. Relax the hips. They're probably the most relaxed part of the body. But just let them sink. And listen to your own breath. Enjoy the heaviness of your body. And let me invite you to stay in Shavasana for a longer time. A few more minutes. But if you're ready to come up with me, you can start wiggling the toes, the fingers, getting ready to wake up again. Maybe stretching the arms above your head, making yourself extremely long, rolling yourself to one side, whichever is your favorite, and welcoming yourself on Mother Earth like a little child. And whenever you feel ready, no rush, push yourself with one hand, come back to a seated position, cross-legged, putting the hands in front of your heart, grateful for that body, grateful for all those tissues that sustain us, that keep us in one piece at the end of the day. But we have to take care of them too. So devote in that little time of yours. With this, wrap your palms, make some heat, put them in front of your eyes, feel the warmth, and take this feeling of being loose, being light, being long with you, to your sleep, to your day, wherever you go right now. And take the practice as a respectful move that you do for yourself. Something to take care of your body and to heal. With that said, remove the hands of your face with a big smile. Welcome back. And I hope you feel as light as I do, because this is an amazing battery feeling that I have around my hips. Practice this, as I mentioned, a couple of times a week, at least once weekly. There are a series of classes for tight hips, the more basic ones, the more advanced ones. There will be more coming. The standing flow. Please do the sequences depending on how you feel. You can do the standing one, you can do the yin one, you can do the easy one. Practice them constantly, because then you will feel the change in your hips. Please, 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 if you do have that storage, that we call it trauma, but it could be anything. I mean, normally trust and distrust get here in the hip area. So whatever it is that you have, and if you feel that the hips are tight, whether you're a man or a woman, anyone, and I've seen it so many times, do these and take care of your hips. They're really, really important for now, but also for the years to come. So don't ignore them. If you know somebody who really needs to do this, please share it with them. Tell us to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, come on, do it, because I'm going to keep feeding you with beautiful practices every single week, at least twice per week. Give me a like, if you liked it, and if you didn't like it, give me a like too, of course. And drop me a comment. How did it feel? Do you feel lighter now? How did it affect even your mood? You probably are in a better mood. You don't want to fight with anybody at this very moment. You just relax and chill. I just want to smile and be friends with everyone. In any case, always an honor, a pleasure to have you on board. See you very shortly. Namaste.